make notes for myself.
So the last name is Paradis. S is silent, it's French. You can say Paradis, Paradise, but Paradis is the most common mispronunciation, I guess. But technically it's Paradis.
Paradis. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you for
Yep, no problem.
correcting me. I appreciate that. I'm the worst with names. So first of all, thank you for taking some time out of your day. I truly appreciate it. Why don't you introduce yourself, who you work for and what you do, and kind of a brief history.
Sure. My name is Duane Paradis. I work for Johns Manville. Right now I'm at our tech center in Littleton, Colorado. You can see the foothills right behind me. Beautiful area to work. So I've been at Johns Manville for just over 15 years. I actually started in the commercial roofing division. Spent about 10 years there working on those products. In late 2013, 2014, we started, a serious effort in developing a lightweight tile backer board for this industry, using a lot of the technologies that JM has in-house. So since then, I've been in the industry, developing GoBoard and all the products, other products, accessories, and that go along with it. Mm-hmm. So basically, since 2014 is when I started, spending a lot of time in the tile industry. So it's been exciting. It's been fun.
Okay, so six or 7 years now.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you like most about, besides the beautiful view there? I mean, my goodness, what do you like most about work for Johns Manville?
Well, this point in time, I'm glad to be employed. Johns Manville is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, so we've got a very strong backing. Johns Manville is, over 160 years old, and that's a long time to be in the building products industry. Sometimes it can be tough, but JM has, lasted over the years. So it's actually a great company to work for, a great area to be in. I'm actually in the innovation group. So we're chartered with, developing new products, but also getting JM technologies into new markets or markets that JM has not traditionally participated in. Yeah. And a good example of that is in the tile industry.
Yeah. Great example. But I mean, hey, congratulations. You've done a great job taking it by storm, really taking a handle of the market. You're everywhere. Everybody knows you that I know of. I really don't have people questioning that. I've known you probably, for 4 years myself.
Right.
And one of the best things about your company is it seems like, from the outside looking in anyways, I should say, you guys are really listening to your clients and making adjustments here and there.
Yes. A lot of the development with our products are customer driven. Mm-hmm. Especially GoBoard. A lot of the ideas we get come from customers, come from, just questions, discussions at trade shows, problems in the market. I mean, labor's tight nowadays, skilled labor's hard to find. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the development into GoBoard products keep that in mind. So we try and keep things as simple as possible, reduce the number of steps, to me, tiling's a difficult task. The materials are heavy. It's tedious. It's time consuming. I mean, I've done a few tile jobs in my house, and I'm glad I'm not a tiler. So a lot of the things we're trying to do with GoBoard is make getting to the tiling a lot easier. So lightweight products, less steps, easier to install. So by the time you get to tiling, you're not worn out and you have some patience left.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Right.
We've got a question from the audience already, and I do want to encourage everybody in the audience, go ahead, post those questions up. We love it. Is GoBoard made in the USA?
A lot of the components are made in the USA. It's actually assembled in Canada, so in Ontario. So the outer skin is made in the US. A lot of the chemicals are made in the US, shipped to one of our Canadian plants where the board is actually fabricated or assembled, whatever you want to call it. The reason it's in Canada happens to be because that was our only manufacturing plant on this platform that was capable of doing 3 foot wide. Mm-hmm. So as you know, the most common size for backer boards is 3 foot wide, so 3 by 5. Hence, that's why GoBoard ended up being assembled in Canada.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, North America, that's just over the border, hop, skip for some of us folks that grew up or used to live up there. What are you going to do a 4x8?
Well, we do have 4x8 products.
Oh, you do already? Okay, great.
We do already. I'd like to do other 4 foot wide sizes, like 4x4, 4x5, something like that. We haven't launched that yet. One of the things I don't like about 3x5 is those dimensions aren't divisible by 16. Mm-hmm. So there can be a lot of waste. I understand a traditional bathtub surround working well with 3x5s, but I think traditional bathtub surrounds are, less and less common. I mean, they're still common, but obviously declining. Mm-hmm. So I think there's other board sizes that would work better than 3x5, but I think 3x5 is still the standard, so that's still our biggest seller, actually.
Interesting. Yep. Yeah, I never actually knew you did a 4x8, so
yes,
that would be something that I would request from my supplier, my distributor, because actually, for me personally, I found the 4x8s to be one of the better dimensions for the least amount of waste, which is always important. I mean, hey.
Yes, and the nice thing about GoBoard is lightweight. So a 4x8 sheet is actually 15 to 16 pounds, so it's actually manageable. Yeah. You look at cement boards in a 4x8 size, not so much.
Yeah, yeah. Dan Marvin's in the audience. He's got another great question here. Do you consider your competition to be other foam companies, other foam boards, or cement boards?
That's a very good question. I think both. I mean, our intent when launching GoBoard was pricing so we could be competitive with cement boards. Mm-hmm. So we tried very hard to have our price point justified with the value the product brings to the customer. So one of the 2 key drivers there was the lightweight, easy to install, and also the fact that the board was waterproof. So the waterproof would save you the step of a liquid applied or a membrane, and the lightweight saves you, time and labor. Mm-hmm. So you factor those 2 in, and it justifies our price point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. We've got another great question. Phil Green from Backbutter Buddy has got a question. He says, the wedges, when will the wedges be available?
So the wedges are available. I think we're working hard to get our distributors to bring them in, which sometimes can be a challenge. We now have a shower kit in the box. So yes, we do have a kit in a box. The kit includes 4 wedges, 3 tubes of sealant, and our point drain.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So that comes in that ready-to-make kit. That's cool.
Yeah.
We've got a few more questions here. I love it. Keep it coming. Makes my job easier. And
keep them coming.
Duane is firing away. What is the traditional distribution channel? Home centers, independent tile distributors, or flooring distributors? From Bart Bediga.
Well, in our case, the tile distribution channel is big for us. We are in big box, so not all. Well, I think most Menards will carry at least 1/2 inch GoBoard. Select Lowe's stores will carry 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch, and this is all 3x5. I think you can special order 4x8s at Menards and Lowe's. I'm not sure. Just recently, we're on Home Depot for internet orders. But today, I mean, I think most of our sales come from the tile distribution channel, tile distributors.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Donnie asked, can the board actually be buried in a mortar bed?
So we have a lot of installers that use GoBoard with mud pans, and they actually bury, a portion of GoBoard in that mud pan. So the answer is yes.
Okay, great. And then you guys have done a great job with your pricing. Donnie asks why, why is it less expensive than other foam boards? I don't know if you want to.
That's kind of a loaded question.
That's a tough one.
I mean, we're making money on the product. I mean, I wouldn't say we're making a killing, but it's priced to sell. We didn't want to be a niche player. Like I said, our initial goal was to go after cement board. Again, I mean, we priced it based on the value the product brings to the customer.
Okay.
So you take cement board, you add the lightweight, you add the waterproof, and that's how we arrived at our price.
Yeah. All right, we got another question from Heather. What's one of the most exciting things you've been able to work on or launch from the innovations division since you've been a part of the team?
Well, recently, I guess our shower kit. You look at us in 2014, we had no interest in getting into systems and accessories. But some of our customers and distributors kind of, poked and prodded at us. Hey, you don't have a sealant. Hey, where's your fasteners? So we've just been slowly adding accessories, different products, different sizes to the product line as we're moving along. And we'll continue to do that moving forward. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, we try to differentiate our products from other offerings out there. So if you look at our shower system, it's kind of a one-size-fits-most situation. So you actually cut the wedges on site and assemble the shower pan. So it's a true field fabricated shower kit.
Mm-hmm. Nice. What are some industry-wide challenges that you see, Duane, that you feel need to be addressed or we need to work together on type of thing?
Well, I think with the pandemic lockdown, I think supply chains are being stretched. I know we've had some issues with some of our suppliers, especially with products, or materials coming out of China or overseas. As some countries were locked down, availability of certain materials, were, not available for a certain period of time. So, we've had delays on our end because of that. So we've been looking at our, supply chain, a lot of second sourcing. I mean, we traditionally do second sourcing, but this situation has, put our focus more on that. So yeah, I think the market conditions now because of this pandemic are challenging and may get more challenging. I hope not, but we're anticipating that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a recent example that's on our minds today.
Yeah, I imagine. Has that gotten any better within recent days, or are you trying to find ways to kind of?
Oh, I think it's getting better.
Okay, things are loosening up with that supply chain. That's good. That's really good to hear. We got a couple more questions from Donnie D. Donnie's out of New Jersey. You might want to talk to Donnie. He said the 16 inches on center, is that for the maximum stud spacing for your board?
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
With thicker products, you probably go to 24. So the problem when you go to 24 is there's an ASTM E330 test under certain wind loads. You can't exceed a certain deflection. So that's something we're working on to push our stud spacing beyond 16. We have some test data that supports a 19.2-inch stud spacing. I mean, we haven't really pursued that yet, but definitely something that we're working on.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah, good question. And then the fiberglass issue, you can address that. That was another question as well.
As far as the fiberglass in the outer facing?
Yeah, that was Johnny B's question. Is it fiberglass? Is it or?
Yeah, so the outer facing is a fiberglass, non-woven, so glass fibers intertwined to make a continuous web, a mat, whatever you want to call it, that's fully saturated with a mineral-based coating that's specifically designed for tiling applications. So one of the key design requirements for us was the shear bond test. So for ANSI 118.10, so good thin set mortar adhesion. Also being able to tile in the evening and being able to grout the next morning was also important. So so that the facing was designed for those conditions. It does have fiberglass. So one of our common complaints is that it itches. So we've been, we have solutions for that that hopefully we can launch in the future. But for now, wearing the proper PPE helps when you're handling GoBoards. So breathable gloves, a lightweight long sleeve shirt. Things like that will help. Using a utility knife to score and snap. I mean, GoBoard's really easy to score and snap. You just cut the top face or just basically snap it. That'll help reduce the amount of dust produced during installation and help reduce the tendency to cause itching.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, proper PP is, mandatory, should be mandatory, no matter what product you're using these days.
I mean, the great thing about fiberglass is it's durable, it's a low-cost building material, it's been out there for decades. Really, its only downside is itching, but it produces a great high tensile strength outer facing material that adds stiffness to the board. A lot of the properties and performance of GoBoard is actually derived from that glass mat facing.
Yeah.
So, it's actually quite a big challenge to eliminate the glass and get the same performance.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's time proven, time tested. If I go out on a boat and it's a fiberglass boat, I'm not going to worry, right?
Right. Exactly.
One more time. One more question. We have time for one more question from Phil Green again. Does JM have a GoBoard prefab niches or prefab corner niche?
We get asked that a lot, and at trade shows, and again, this is where interacting with customers, I like doing it from a product development standpoint because I get to see their facial reactions. And when I say, "Oh, well, just build one yourself," turns out a lot of people don't want to do that. They want prefabbed niches that they can just drop in place. We don't have those yet. I'm sure we will eventually. For now, building your own, I don't think is the answer customers want to hear, but that's where we're at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, that's all we have for time. Duane, I truly appreciate you taking some time to share your knowledge and insight. The audience was firing those questions and you had an answer.
Yeah, no problem. It was a lot of fun. Great.
So I appreciate it. So we're gonna break for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we're gonna get to our interview with Lee and Jane Callywort.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, Duane.